Hi, this is Mark Sanaka, the FinOps guy. I'm starting this channel to focus on cloud engineering and most specifically FinOps. As I said, the purpose of this channel is to focus on cloud FinOps, most specifically the business applications. The discipline really started as an afterthought by the infrastructure engineers, the cloud architects. They kind of were keeping an eye on things and would work on maximizing the cost savings as much as possible. They shared those insights with the application developers and would many times request that those teams would minimize costs wherever possible. Keep in mind early on, this was all new to everyone. The idea of spinning things up and spinning down was a new discipline. And it was a really, I think, as time went on, then finance became aware of the costs. Early on, the percentage of spend in the cloud versus on-premise, if you were an enterprise customer, was a rounding error. And so finance really didn't take much interest in the costs as long as they were relatively small. As that changed, finance became more aware of these costs, and there was more requirements to minimize costs wherever possible while still bringing product to market as quickly as possible. The last teams that got involved were really the business product owners and the C-level executives. And so this channel is devoted to their needs. We act as an advocate for what the business needs out of FinOps, and we try to help the collaboration across each of those teams, or what are called personas. And this is a growing discipline. Really, it sprung from an addition to Amazon's well-architected framework, and this discipline was added in 2019. FinOps Foundation came about and really made a lot of great advances towards standardizing the description of FinOps, how the teams, what their responsibilities were. And so honestly, the FinOps has really come of age in 2018, 2019, and has taken off, I'd say, in 2021, right up until the present, 2023. So these are what are called the personas: engineering, operations, infrastructure, cloud architects, those sorts of people. And in that area, there's really two groups. There's the infrastructure architects that are responsible for making sure that the infrastructure is available to the programmers. And then you have the application developers, and they're the ones who are creating the applications themselves. And so these two teams, it's most important that they work effectively together to bring to market the products as quickly as possible in the most cost-efficient manner possible. The business product owner is the person responsible for return on investment, beating the competition to market, and can ultimately is the one who can make the best decisions regarding the trade-off between expenses and time to market. The C-level executive is the person who is now ultimately responsible for the smooth operations and running of the organization. And they'll typically work very closely with the last persona, finance, who has now become much more involved with the engineering operations group and the business product owners to bring more focus, more governance to the world of Cloud FinOps. And a little bit about who we are. So we've been incorporated for the last 20 years. We started off as a network engineering group. We did Cisco and sniffer training. We also were kind of a sniffer for hire service. We provided analysis to companies, and when we couldn't find a good tool to do the reporting, we created our own called the Auto Baseline, which we actually sold to many Fortune 500 companies. We rebranded the company in 2011 as Cloud eBroker, and that was in recognition of the migration of moving from the enterprise data center to the public cloud. We became an AWS partner in 2013, and we really have been focusing for the last 5 years on FinOps. And now for a short excerpt from a video which I created in 2015, which will give you a little bit of background as to how I came to the public cloud and my take on the FinOps discipline.
Hi, this is Mark Sinaka. I'm a cloud architect in the New York City area. I'm a 20-year data center engineer who has transitioned to the cloud over the last 4 years. Most of my experience has been with Amazon Web Services.
I chose AWS after working on and evaluating Rackspace, GoGrid, Terramark, Google Compute Engine, and Microsoft Azure. Before the cloud, I worked full-time and on a consulting basis for many of the largest firms, primarily on Wall Street. I spent 5 years supporting Goldman Sachs fixed income trading, where I learned high availability best practices. I evaluated, designed, and installed a global systems and network management system for JP Morgan Chase, and assisted them with several of their mergers, including Chemical and JP Morgan. I was Senior Vice President at Citigroup in charge of Global Network Management, where I became ITIL certified and completed an ISO 9001 certification. I've tried to take the best practices from my enterprise experience, particularly on the security, change, and configuration management, and apply them towards my design and builds within AWS. I believe my strength is in my ability to understand both the enterprise and public cloud side of a hybrid cloud design. In 2012, I was the focus of a TechTarget article highlighting the retooling transition some enterprise engineers were making into the cloud. Over the past 3 years, I have designed and configured AWS hybrid cloud infrastructure for 5 large companies, including media brands Aegis, Havas, Viveki, and most recently Wawa. In each of these cases, this was their first experience connecting their enterprise network to the AWS public cloud. At Wawa, I had the opportunity to work with the talented staff and representatives of Turnberry Solutions as well as Mobiquity. I traveled with a team of these engineers to the AWS reInvent show in Las Vegas this past November and have helped train engineers to pass the AWS certifications.
Having started in the cloud in 2011 gave me the opportunity to do my tour of duty in each of the various disciplines, whether it be networking, infrastructure development and scalability, security, and DevOps. And over the years, that experience allowed me to work effectively with the engineering teams. In 2018, I focused exclusively on FinOps, and but by having that experience in those other disciplines of cloud, I'm able to work effectively with the cloud engineering teams. We have extensive experience in the inform portion of the Cloud FinOps iterative process of inform, optimize, and operate. Our experience in creating the auto baseliner of analyzing usage on the network has allowed us to create some pretty powerful analysis models for FinOps as well. Our focus is, by understanding the technical aspects of the cloud, is to enable us to be able to go down the rabbit hole, work in the weeds with the engineers so that you in finance and business and the executive level don't have to. We bring the concepts to you in a business perspective, and we summarize each of the points in a way in which it pertains to the business. And in doing so, we feel as though we bring the most value by focusing on our ability to understand the engineering as well as understand what finance's needs are and how we can explain the use of the cloud in terms that finance can use, the business can use, and the executives can use. So I hope this is very helpful to you. And the idea is to share information. If you like what you see and you like what you hear, please hit the subscribe button. And thank you.